आजकल वीडियो कॉल्स काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट हो चुकी है। अब हम किसी भी लोकेशन पे हो सकता है कि हम करनाल में हो सकता है हम दिल्ली में हो सकता है हम पंजाब में हो सकता है हम इंटरनेशनली भी हो। तो हर जगह ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि हम अपने फैमिली के साथ हैं या अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ हैं या मे बी कई बार बिजनेस मीटिंग के लिए भी। तो हमें उस केस के लिए फेस टू फेस कनेक्ट करने की जो प्रेफरेंस होती है हमें बहुत ज़्यादा होती है ताकि हम कनेक्टेड फील करें। अब ये सब चीज़ें हम कैसे इंप्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ वीडियो कॉलिंग। तो दैट मीन्स वीडियो कॉलिंग हैज बिकम वेरी एसेंशियल कंसिडरिंग व्हाट वी हैव, so that if we are physically not present in one of the location we can connect face to face, we can interact with each other, right? तो अगर हमें ये सब चीजें अपनी एप्लीकेशन में इंटीग्रेट करनी हो, फॉर एग्जाम्पल हमें वीडियो कॉल करनी हो, वॉइस कॉल करनी हो, लेट से इन ऐप चैट करना हो, लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग करनी हो, तो हमें बहुत सारा हेफ्टी अमाउंट ऑफ कोड लिखना होगा, इनफैक्ट कॉम्प्लेक्स कोड भी, जिसमें बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम भी लग जाएगा। अगर मैं आपको ये कहूँ कि एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है बाय विच वी कैन इम्प्लीमेंट ऑल दोज फीचर्स विद वेरी लेस अमाउंट ऑफ कोड, और यू कैन से लो कोड एंड वेरी फास्ट, तो how can we do that? And that's where ZEGOCLOUD comes into the picture. So ZEGOCLOUD provides multiple benefits and functionalities with very less amount of code by which we can create high quality voice, video, in-app chat, live streaming kind of application, and we can integrate it. And this is what we will learn today. आज हम ZEGOCLOUD के बारे में बात करेंगे कि ZEGOCLOUD है क्या, क्या क्या सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करता है, and what benefit it brings on the table. तो इसको ध्यान से सुनेगा क्योंकि इसके अंदर कुछ बेनिफिट्स ऐसे भी हैं जो आपने किसी और प्लेटफॉर्म पे सुने नहीं होंगे और आपको फ्री में कुछ चीजें भी ये देगा। तो ध्यान से सुनेगा, लिसन वेरी केयरफुली एंड अटेंटिवली। चलिए तो चलो हम चलते हैं ZEGOCLOUD की वेबसाइट पे। लेट्स सर्च ZEGOCLOUD एंड दिस इज आवर ZEGOCLOUD वेबसाइट। एंड इफ यू कैन सी हियर, सी how interactive this website is, but with that, see what benefit it is providing. Build powerful interactive apps with voice, video and chat. This is what I have explained कि हम किस टाइप की एप्लीकेशन बना सकते हैं with the help of ZEGOCLOUD. If you see, these are the products ZEGOCLOUD has. For example, video call, voice call, live streaming, in-app chat, cloud recording, AI effects and whatnot. So any kind of products we want to use, we have ZEGOCLOUD in the market. And we can definitely leverage that. They provide developer friendly SDK, API, resources and supportive tech guidance as well. तो ultimately अगर हमें कोई भी वीडियो, वॉइस कॉल, चैट, लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग कुछ भी यूज करना है, then we should try ZEGOCLOUD. अब अगर मैं बात करूं, जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया कि हमें कॉम्प्लेक्स कोड लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, we can use ZEGOCLOUD with very less amount of code and we can integrate those applications, and these are kind of the products which I just told you we can implement with that. But what are the benefits ZEGOCLOUD provides over that, right? तो अगर मैं बेनिफिट्स की बात करूं ZEGOCLOUD की, what extra it brings onto the table, तो सबसे पहला सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है इसका UI किट। UI किट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। अब हम क्या करते हैं, हम कोई भी एप्लीकेशन बनाते हैं तो हमें क्या करना पड़ता है, पहले उसके लिए UI क्रिएट करनी होती है। We spend good amount of time to create the UI and then we start integrating them. Here we don't have to create the UIs altogether. They are providing 20 plus pre-built UI kit. That means they have those UIs already created. We just have to plug and play. That's it. And within very short amount of time we'll be able to create the UI, or maybe we'll be able to create the application itself. अब अगेन यही मैंने अभी आपको बोला कि वी हैव रेडीमेड यूआई कंपोनेंट्स, वी डोंट हैव टू क्रिएट, एंड दिस प्रोवाइड्स अ वेरी गुड रिच कम्युनिकेशन एक्सपीरियंस। वी जस्ट हैव टू असेंबल देम बेस्ड ऑन आवर नीड्स। एंड कई बार क्या होता है कि टाइट डेडलाइन एंड वी वांट टू ship that into the market, or maybe we want to demonstrate our MVP to the clients. In that case we don't have to spend good amount of time, we can bring MVP to market for funding faster. We'll just have to show the prototype, and for that we'll use a ready-made UI and their few functions, and that's it, we are done. Okay, now let's explore what is UI kit, what it is giving us. So we have pre-built UI kit, we have 20 plus pre-built UI kits, and if we talk about what kind of a UI kit we have video call UI kit, we have UI components. So these are the UI kits we have available. For example, voice call, video call, live streaming, in-app chat, AI effects, all kinds of UI kits are available. And today in this video we will talk about call UI kit, that is video call or voice call. Today we'll talk about one-on-one video call. How can we, you know, make a video call to another person, and we'll, implement it from the start. And one very important thing which I was talking about, that if you register over ZEGOCLOUD, you will get 10,000 free minutes. Yes, you heard it right. You don't have to spend a penny to use ZEGOCLOUD, at least for first 10,000 minutes, and you can use it for free. And this is the benefit ZEGOCLOUD provides. So you don't have to worry about that I'll have to pay something. You can directly go register yourself and start using it without spending any amount of money. समझते हैं कि हम इसको implement कैसे करेंगे. तो implement करने के लिए सबसे पहला step है कि यहाँ पे हम register करें. How can we register on ZEGOCLOUD? So just click on this start building. We'll have to register ourselves. Let's say I'm giving any name, for example, Puneet Grover, using any of the using my country as India. Say I'm using my personal email ID. So after filling all of those details, and password should be combination of numeric as well as digits, alphanumeric and special characters. Now we'll have to add the verification code which we have received. We are good to go to start our free trial. Okay, perfect. As we don't have any company or something, we can maybe fill any random data here. Random student, industry, and say IT industry. We'll have to give our name, our phone number here. And this is what we have. This is what I was talking about. We have 10,000 minutes in app chat free of cost. Okay, let's go to the dashboard. And this is what I had explained, that we have 10,000 minutes free minutes trial, that is voice call. So firstly we'll have to create a new project, because we'll have to tell what kind of a project we are building, what kind of functionality we want to integrate within the ZEGOCLOUD. Now we can see we have video, voice call, video conference, live streaming, audio, one-on-one, telehealth, customize, in-app chat, and we have multiple kind of products which we can leverage here. So for today, let's use voice and video call functionality to create our application. Click on next here. Now give it any name. For example, let's say ZEGOCLOUD tutorial, or maybe ZEGOCLOUD app, anything, whatever we want to. Now what these things are, so we have two ways to implement ZEGOCLOUD. One is UI kit, second is SDK. So UI kit is like we have everything pre-built, we just have to plug and play. This is helpful, let's say, when we don't want to do any kind of customization. It's just integrate that ZEGOCLOUD in our application. We'll build an MVP and we can go live for any investment, for any demonstration, for any POC. These kind of things we can implement. But let's say sometimes, considering our application theme, we want to create a customized UI. In that case, feel free to use their SDKs. We can customize. And if you can see here, we have Android, we have iOS, we have web, React Native, Flutter, any kind of technology, any kind of platform we can build voice and video calls for. We don't have to restrict for either Android or iOS or web. We have plenty of platforms to build. So once we register on the ZEGOCLOUD, this is the dashboard we'll see. We have multiple platforms: web, iOS, Android, Flutter, React Native. It's not just that I'll have to create application only for Android or only for iOS. I can create for any kind of the platform, right? This is the benefit Jago Cloud. And in the web also we have multiple platforms: PHP, JavaScript, Angular, and Vue. Okay, let's move ahead and see how we can create a project. Okay, let's move ahead and click on Android because we want to implement the Android application. So once we click on that, this you can see here, we'll be using Jago Cloud UIKit, right? Although if we want, we can check the pricing, but as I have already told you, we have 10,000 free minutes already available for in-app chat, and for that we don't have to pay any single amount of money, single penny we don't have to pay, right? And for that we don't have to pay any single amount of money. We can freely use that. The only thing is that we must have our service activated to use that. Okay, so let's go to projects and see what kind of a configuration is here. Okay, now if you see here, we'll have to use some configuration. See, we have created a project here in the Jago Cloud console. Now we need few configuration from here so that we can integrate this project with our actual application in the Android Studio. And these are the information we need: app sign, callback secret, temporary token, or maybe app ID, status, project name, all those things. We'll have to use that in our actual code in Android Studio. And by this configuration, Jago Cloud will be able to understand that we are integrating this with this. Now with this, if you see in the service management, we have voice and video call activated. Their status should be activated because we will be leveraging this service of Jago Cloud to use in our application. Although we have multiple kind of services which we can use, and for that those services also should be activated. For example, we have voice and video call, live stream creation, live streaming, and so on so far. It is up to us which service we want to leverage for Jago Cloud. For now, let's go with voice and video call service only, and the status of that should be activated. Now, since we have all of the configuration required for Jago Cloud like app ID, status, apps, and callback secret, our next step should be to go for the documentation of the Jago Cloud so that we can understand how we can implement the Jago Cloud in our application. So let's go to the documentation of this Jago Cloud. For that, just click on Documents here under the Resources tab. Here, if you see, we have multiple products: video call, voice call, live streaming, and we'll have to decide for which feature we want to see the documentation. For now, we'll be focusing mainly on UIKit. So for this one, let's understand the call kit. Now, we can choose any kind of documentation from this drop down. For today, we're using Android and Kotlin or Java. Along with that, what is call kit? Call kit, I have already told you that we'll be using this for either audio call or video call, and within that either for one-on-one or group voice or video call. This is the benefit of call kit. Now if we understand what is the need of call kit, then of course we can create the application faster and easier. And same goes for, we can either use the pre-built UI or we can use the customized UI, whatever we want. If we use the pre-built, we'll have to spend very less amount of time there. Similarly, we have multiple features available in the UI kit. For example, we may use custom call ringtone, call invitation. We can invite other person as well. We can see who is the participant if we are going for a group video call. We can switch views. There are plenty of things we can use within the call kit. And again, the platforms, as I said, we have multiple platforms: Android, iOS, Flutter, React Native. Now let's go to quick start and understand how we can implement ZEGOCLOUD in our application. Okay, so let's go to the Android Studio first and create a new project altogether. So for that, we'll just select an empty activity and name we can give any name, whatever we want. ZEGOCLOUD first, let's say. Now the configuration wise, just for the simplicity, let's select Groovy DSL for now. Though we can implement whatever we want, there is no restriction as such. We have the documentation available for both. Okay, so we have our project created. This is the project I have created to implement ZEGOCLOUD. So first of all, whenever we use any of the SDK, our first step is to add the dependencies for that. And here we'll use settings.gradle here. If we go to the documentation of the ZEGOCLOUD, it says that we'll have to add the Jetpack configuration in the settings.gradle file. We'll just copy that and add that in a project and sync it. Along with that, in our app level build.gradle, we'll have to add the dependency being used at app level. So let's add that here. It says the ZEGOCLOUD UIKit pre-built call Android plus means whatever is the latest dependency, just use that. Now let's sync this application again so that all of the classes are imported. Now what is the next step here? Go to ZEGOCLOUD admin console and get the app ID and app set. This is what we have already done. So what we have to do here is, if let's say we want to use Kotlin, we'll have to add all those details here, right? So we have dependencies added already. So now let's do one thing. Let's create a UI for this application. For example, I want to use the data binding. I'll use the layout here. Okay, let's quickly create that. Though one more thing here, I had already told you that we can use the pre-built UI as well. For that purpose, they have given us the sample code. We can just copy paste and use that. Okay, and pre-built UI is not for this UI I'm talking about. Pre-built UI is when we actually have that screen where video call is happening. That UI is already built. We don't have to create that. But to start that, to take the username, right? That UI we are creating here to start that video activity. But how it will look, the video screen, that is already done. We don't have to create that altogether. Okay, so let's say I'll use something known as maybe image view. I'm hard coding it. I'm not putting it in the dimensions file for now. Okay, so that we can quickly understand. Let's create text view. Let's give it any name. For example, let's say get started. Let's give some title as well before this ZEGOCLOUD video call, and you can use top to bottom of our ZEGOCLOUD and start to start of our parent. Now let's just copy paste and create one more text view. Let's give it name as TV get started. Let's see how it looks like ZEGOCLOUD. Now let's just create one edit text and one button. Edit text we have used here to get the user name. Let's say enter username. Okay, and that we'll use as hint. Margin top is same, top to bottom of TV get started, that will remain. Okay, end to end of parent, something of this sort. This is the UI we have, and let's say margin. Okay, now let's, what is pending? Okay, input type, let's use, that's not mandatory. Let's create a button as well. You can say start, parent, top to bottom of et username, margin 12 sp, 12 dp, padding 15 dp. So we have this UI created already. So we have created this UI, and now let's go to the main activity and use this UI here. Now since we have used data binding, let's leverage that here. Now use this one to access your views. I hope that you are also learning the data binding along with this. Now implement the on-click listener for this one. Firstly, let's get the input username. So we have username. It's just that we'll have to see that if username is not empty, one condition here, one very simple condition here. Let's create one function to proceed with this username. Very simple. Now we have dependency created, we have UI created. Now it's just that we'll have to go to the video call screen, and for that purpose we need few details. Let's go what all details we need. We need app ID, app sign, call ID, user ID, username. Just copy and paste. Simple. Now what is app ID? Just add that here. And from where we'll get that app ID? From the ZEGOCLOUD console. Here, if you go here, we have this app ID. Just copy paste it. Go to the Android Studio and use it here. Since it is long, you can use it directly. App sign, we can just copy paste from here, copy and use it here. Here. So something of that sort we can use. This is our app ID, app sign. Now we need username. Username is what is coming from here. Let's say entered name of what type? String type. This entered name we can use as a username. Now we are left with call ID and user ID. User ID, let's generate it, any random user ID. Okay, let's create one function for that purpose. Now it's all about the call ID. So call ID we can give any random call ID. And one very important thing to remember is whatever call ID we are using here, if another person is using the same call ID, then we'll be able to talk to each other. For example, let's say me talking to you, your call ID as well as my call ID, we both should be connected with a single call ID so that we can talk to each other, we can communicate with each other, right? So this is a must have, and we should take care of this one because many person forget to add this one and don't understand the benefit and use case of this call ID. Now let's generate the user ID. Use any random, for example, let's say I'm using some string builder here. Okay, let's use random class. Oops, what happened? Okay, so we have to use math.random. I think it has used something else. We have to use probably this one. Nope. Okay, yeah. We'll have to use util random class here. Okay. Now let's create a logic. If builder dot length less than 5, let's say create something of 5 length. Create random integer out of this within 10. If builder is empty, no, not empty, it's empty, is empty, and next int is equal to 0, then only continue, otherwise builder dot append next int, given that next int should not be 0, and then just return builder dot to string. We have this one created and the same which we are using here. Now we have all of the configuration ready. It's just the only thing we are pending with is to call these functions of the ZEGOCLOUD, and we are done. We don't have to do anything extra for that. So this we have already created. This is already there in this class. We have all these functions which are already added there. Just call it out. Nothing else we are doing with this. Now what is pending? Okay, so we have our code ready. You can see how simple it was. It's just these line of code, and this all we have got from the documentation, nothing else, right? We have not written any special code to implement this. It's just these lines and we are ready. Now let's sync this application, build this application, then run this application in our phones. We may not be able to use emulator for video calling. Best would be to use your physical devices. So build is successful. So let's run the application. In the emulator version, maybe we'll run it in the physical devices. So we have this one ready. Just let's add some username here. Let's run this application in the emulator and see how it works. Let's give it any name, for example, Puneet, and click start. It will ask for few permissions and see our video call is started, but since we are using emulator, it is not showing properly. Let's run this in the physical device. Let's hide this button when the video started. Now let's run this in a physical device. तो अब मैंने एप्लीकेशन को मोबाइल में इंस्टॉल कर लिया. आई विल शो यू दैट क्विकली हाउ इट वर्क्स. सो फॉर एग्जांपल हमारे पास ये एप्लीकेशन है जो हमने अभी बनाई थी और इस मोबाइल में मैंने इंस्टॉल कर ली. ठीक है, अब हम इसको चलते हैं लेकर कि कैसे दिखेगी. फॉर एग्जांपल यहाँ पे मैंने अपना नाम दिया पुनीत एंड आई हैव स्टार्टेड. इफ यू कैन सी हियर, सी, and similarly let's open it from the another application. So if you can see here, see, I hope you are visualizing how it is working. तो हमारे पास ये ऐसे दिख रही है. ठीक है, हमारे पास मल्टीपल ऑप्शंस है नीचे भी. इसका कैमरा चेंज करने का, वीडियो ऑन ऑफ करने का, और ऐसे छोटी सी स्क्रीन पर ये हमें देखेगी भी सही कि दूसरे की क्या वीडियो आ रही है. एंड सी द क्लैरिटी, इट इज़ वेरी वेरी हाई क्वालिटी वीडियो कॉल. सो थैंक यू सो मच एवरीवन। उम्मीद करता हूँ आपको ये वीडियो बहुत अच्छी लगी होगी और आपके लिए वीडियो कॉल, वॉइस कॉल, इन चैट ऐप, ये सब कुछ इम्प्लीमेंट करना अपनी एप्लीकेशन में बहुत ईजी हो गया होगा विद वेरी लेस अमाउंट ऑफ कोड। यू कैन स्टार्ट इम्प्लीमेंटिंग इट। And thanks to ZEGOCLOUD for providing us such an amazing SDK as well as pre-built UI so that we can implement this without writing much amount of code. तो मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब। सी यू, टेक केयर, बाय बाय।